Well, I'll say just a few words here. And first of all, I have some notes of appreciation. First of all, I want to thank the President of the United States, who sends his best to all the great leaders assembled here, because he's empowered us to find a diplomatic resolution to a host of issues that matter to the American people, but I think the world. The opening of the Strait of Hormuz, the ending of the Iranian nuclear program, all of these things have already been accomplished. The question before us now is how much more can we accomplish together? Can we turn over a new leaf? Can we change relations in the Middle East permanently? Or do we go back to doing things the old way, which is not our preference, but is certainly very much something that can happen. I have a few other notes of appreciation. First of all, to the Prime Minister of Pakistan. A dear friend of the President's, a dear friend of mine, a guy who has been, with his leadership and his very careful and skilled negotiation, has got us to this point. To his Field Marshal in Pakistan, Asim Munir. I will say that since Field Marshal Munir welcomed us with the Prime Minister in Islamabad, I have joked that I have two very, very important people in my life, an Indian and a Pakistani. The Indian is my wife, and the Pakistani is Field Marshal Munir. And I've probably talked to Field Marshal Munir more than I've talked to anybody else over the last 3 months. Would not be here without his statesmanship. He is, of course, a great military leader, but I think he's shown himself to be a great diplomat. And, of course, who's an amazing friend of the United States of America, but has been also an important part of getting us to this point. I think it's important for the American people, but people all over the world to appreciate that what's brought us to this moment is the President's leadership and the President's willingness to see a Middle East that is much different 10 years from now than it was 10 years ago.
The first round of the high-stakes US-Iran talks has wrapped up in Switzerland, with both sides agreeing on a roadmap for the next 60 days. The meeting lasted about 80 minutes and launched a diplomatic process focused on 4 key issues: Iran's nuclear program, sanctions, monitoring mechanisms, and dispute resolution. Technical teams from both the countries are scheduled to continue negotiations throughout the week. One major outcome of the first round of negotiations was the creation of a direct communication channel to prevent misunderstandings and reduce the risk of escalation during the talks. The parties also discussed protecting commercial shipping through the Strait of Hormuz, a critical route for global energy supplies. Perhaps the most significant development was an agreement to establish a de-confliction cell involving Lebanon, with Pakistan and Qatar acting as mediators. The goal is to help manage and reduce fighting between Israel and Hezbollah. For now, the negotiators are in a 60-day sprint to reach an agreement on the technical details that hold massive implications for the world economy and global security.